the Browns need offensive help. And I'm telling you right now, Andrew Berry and Jimmy Haslam is making it their business to get for Shedeur on the offensive side. They need wide receivers, a left guard, right guard, center, and tackles for Shedeur Sanders, bro, to be successful. I feel like if they can give him those tangibles, they got a very, very high chance of making the playoffs. And I mean not just making the playoffs, making it far in the playoffs, possibly AFC Championship type deal. He goes on to say Shedeur Sanders, the final 7 games of the season for the Browns, going 3-4 in those contests. He passed for 1,400 yards and threw for 7 touchdowns. Now, he did have a whopping 10 interceptions, but like I stated, a lot of those interceptions came due to players like Jeudy, and I ain't gonna name nobody else, bro, that cannot hold the ball in. Now, but one of the problems for Sanders was lack of weapons. Jeudy was slated to be the team's #1 receiver, but finished the season with just 50 catches for only 602 yards.
Like, subscribe, and hit that bell.
This situation with Jeudy really highlights a big problem the Browns have had for a while, paying big money for players who don't deliver when it counts. You can't just throw cash at a player and expect the results to magically appear. Jeudy got a huge contract making over $17 million a year, and yet he struggles to catch the ball consistently. That's not just bad luck, that's underperformance. When a player is supposed to be your go-to guy and can't haul in crucial passes, it puts unnecessary pressure on Shedeur. The young quarterback can only do so much when his top receiver can't finish plays. Shedeur's talent and potential are clear, but it's hard to build momentum with unreliable weapons around him. This isn't about one bad game here and there. It's about consistency, and Jeudy hasn't shown that. What makes things worse is that this kind of mismanagement isn't new for the Browns. Look at Deshaun Watson's situation. An $80 million deal, and now he's basically sitting on the bench because the team can't move him without taking a huge financial hit. It's like a bad pattern repeating itself. When you keep paying big money to players who don't produce, it ties the team down and blocks progress. It's frustrating because it's not just about the players. Coaching and management have to own some of this, too. Stefanski has been around this offense for a while, and you would expect better planning and adjustments. Instead, we have seen questionable decisions on who to trust and how to use these expensive players. When your highest-paid wide receiver can't consistently help your quarterback, it shows a failure in both player evaluation and coaching strategy. Meanwhile, Shedeur is left to carry a heavy load without the support he needs. The young quarterback has shown flashes of brilliance despite these challenges. If the Browns want to move forward, the focus should be on building around Shedeur. That means reliable receivers who catch the ball, solid protection up front, and a coach who can put the right pieces in place. Jeudy's contract and performance don't match up, and continuing to lean on him risks holding the whole offense back. It's time for the Browns to stop settling for names and start demanding real impact. The question is, how long will they wait before making those tough calls? Because the clock is ticking and Shedeur deserves better. Anyways, Jeudy's struggles and the Browns' questionable decisions are holding Shedeur back from reaching his full potential. It's clear that this team needs to make smarter moves to support their young quarterback. If you want more honest takes on the Browns, don't forget to like and subscribe.
An article from ClevelandBrowns.com has leaked some very, very important information. And I like hearing news like this, man, because this is the type of news that you want to hear. You want to hear big-time players coming and them actually getting more young guys to come in and possibly help the Browns make it over that hump for the 2026 season. It's being reported that the Browns projected to add All-American weapon for Shedeur Sanders. The Cleveland Browns need a makeover on the offensive side of the ball, and the team could opt to use one of its top picks in the NFL draft to give quarterback Shedeur Sanders a new weapon to work with. Guys, if it's to me, I think it's two things that the Browns desperately need.
This is what happens when effort meets opportunity. You see young players stepping in and producing when their name is called, and that matters a lot. Shedeur needs teammates he can trust, not big names who vanish when it counts. When a rookie tight end steps in and becomes the most reliable target, that says everything. It shows the quarterback is making the right reads, and it shows who is actually putting in the work. Add Luke returning to the mix and now there is balance. Why force throws outside when the middle of the field keeps the chains moving? Why not build an offense that lets your quarterback breathe? Shedeur's success depends on protection more than anything. This is not complicated. Give him time and he finds the open man. Take that time away and any young quarterback will struggle. That is why the offensive line matters so much. Guards and tackles are not extras. They are survival pieces. When the line holds up, Shedeur looks calm and in control. When it breaks down, the entire offense feels rushed. So the question is simple. Do you want to see what he can really do, or keep guessing? How many drives have to die from pressure before it finally clicks? What stands out most is the honesty from the front office. They are not pretending everything is fine. They are clearly saying this offense needs work and they are willing to invest. That is the right mindset. You may not fix everything in one season, but you have to fix the right things first. If the line improves and Shedeur keeps building chemistry with players who actually produce, why can't this offense take a real step forward? Why can't 2026 be the year it comes together? The pieces exist. The real question is whether the Browns finish the job. And how long can a name stay important when the results stay small? And when does the money start asking harder questions?
Was Harold Fanikin Jr. Now, Harold Fanikin Jr. proved that he is like that. I think him and Shedeur, with Luke Floria coming back, they can add some big-time key weapons to help flourish that offense, bro. Long as they got offensive tackles and guards to help hold the line steady for Shedeur to find these guys, it's going to be lights out football for the 2026 season. Now, the first-year tight end caught a team high 72 passes for 631 yards, bro, and 6 touchdowns. And that's an all-team high. Now, with that being said, he ain't making $17.5 million, bruh. He got way more yards than Jerry Jeudy. Now, the Browns general manager, Andrew Berry, acknowledged that the team will invest in improving the offense as a whole this offseason. He went on to say it's no secret that that's where we're going to invest most of our resources this season, Berry stated. A year ago, we decided to make the pivot that we did. You also realize that you're not going to be able to accomplish anything at once the roster get done. Now, the offensive line, that position group, I do imagine will have a fair amount of turnarounds as we go into the 2026 season.
This matters because it finally feels like the Browns are thinking straight. For once, the focus is not on fixing mistakes or hoping players magically get better. It is about real upgrades. Shedeur is not the issue with this offense, and anyone paying attention knows a young quarterback needs help, not pressure to do everything himself. If the Browns are serious about 2026, adding a true offensive weapon makes total sense. You do not waste years asking a quarterback to survive with limited tools. You give him players who can get open, catch the ball clean, and turn simple throws into real production. Shedeur showed enough to prove he belongs, even when the situation around him was not ideal. He played behind weak protection and threw to receivers who did not always help him. Mistakes will happen, but context matters. When a pass hits a receiver's hands and still falls incomplete or gets tipped, that is not on the quarterback. That is where the frustration grows, especially with Jerry Jeudy. If you are supposed to be the top option, you cannot vanish when the team needs you most. Clashing with your quarterback only looks worse when the performance does not match the talk. That is why Browns leadership has to be honest. Loyalty cannot come before results. If a receiver is not helping the quarterback, then he is holding the offense back. Jerry Jeudy has had opportunities, and the results have been average at best. Shedeur deserves more than that. It is time to bring in someone dependable, focused, and ready to grow with the quarterback. Replace the talk with effort. Replace the drops with consistency. Let Shedeur work with players who truly want to win. That is how this team moves forward. And sometimes the strongest message comes from numbers, not names.
We all know one of the hottest topics that was on the 2025 season was superstar wide receiver Jerry Jeudy, man. Jerry Jeudy got a $40 million deal. He currently make $17.5 million a season, and this young man can't seem to haul in a football and save his life. And what's crazy about it is that the Browns got a history of paying a lot of guys that don't perform to the amount of money they giving them. Now look at Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson has got an $80 million deal, and he's sitting on a damn bench. It's so bad that they can't even get rid of him because no one else is going to be willing to pay him that money, and they can't deserve to take that salary hit on the books, dog. Well, it looked like the same scenario could be coming in for superstar wide receiver Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy, like I stated, is scheduled to make all this money for the 2026 season.
One argument with Shedeur changed things quickly for Jerry Jeudy. And with Andrew Berry making moves, the fallout is only starting now. Andrew Berry and Jimmy Haslam are planning ahead, and it shows. They know this offense is not where it should be, especially if Shedeur is the quarterback going forward. You cannot keep blaming the quarterback when the pieces around him are broken. Wide receiver is already high on their list, and the reason is obvious. If you truly want to build around a young quarterback, you give him real support, not excuses. The front office understands that draft picks are not just assets, they are protection for the quarterback's future. This is not random planning. It is a direct response to what failed on the field. Let's be honest. Shedeur did not only need wide receivers. He needed a full support system. Guards, tackles, a center, basically all the fundamentals. Football is not complicated. If your quarterback is under pressure on every snap and throwing to players who cannot finish plays, the results will suffer. Even so, Shedeur still showed flashes that matter. With better blocking and targets, this team is not just sneaking into the playoffs, they are competing. That is not hype, it is logic. Give a talented quarterback time and weapons, and the ceiling changes. The Browns know this, and that is why changes are coming. Now let's talk about Jeudy, because this part is important. When you clash with your quarterback during the season, you need to back it up on the field. That did not happen here. Drops, missed opportunities, and frustration showed instead. Shedeur took blame for interceptions, but many of them came from receivers not doing their jobs. If you are supposed to be the top option, you have to play like it, not point fingers. Jeudy talked, clashed, and now the numbers are louder than the noise. That is why there is instant regret, because the team is moving on, and it does not look like they are waiting for him. Sometimes the news that matters most is not loud. It is the kind that makes you pause and listen again. This moment is one of those situations.